First tonight at 6, an update from Sun Prairie as some businesses near the explosion site are back open.
Plus, the village of DeForest is now opening a department-wide investigation into its police department.
And the Mount Horeb community is rekindling the conversation tonight about mental health after a recent rise in suicides.
This is News 3 at 6.
Thanks for joining us tonight. It has only been 9 days since the explosion in Sun Prairie, and the city is now ready to talk about rebuilding.
The city council is meeting with the community tonight to go over how to put the intersection of Main and Bristol streets back together. Taking a live look right now at that meeting, the city asked the Department of Transportation to come out and discuss how the construction will go there. The mayor told us the DOT is really the expert on this, since Bristol and Main is more of a major intersection in Sun Prairie. So after the department goes over its plan, a question and answer session will give people some clarity, and we'll hear what these people are saying tonight on News 3 at 10. And the fences are officially down, which means vehicle traffic is now allowed on Main Street in Sun Prairie.
Many businesses have been open for several days now, but with the fences removed, they expect things to get back to normal. Our Jamie Perez spoke with several business owners today who are excited to see downtown traffic return.
Inside Christine K Designs in Sun Prairie. Christine is hard at work.
That's it for that one until I get another fitting on her.
Dealing with just minor damages from the explosion, she's just one of several businesses who are grateful to be back up and running.
We were very blessed. But I want people to know that most of the businesses down here on the 200 block are open. Come on down.
Right around noon, these fences were removed and traffic quickly took over both on foot and in cars.
It's exciting. I was in shock. I was in shock when I started to see cars and I had to run out and I thought somebody was sneaking through, and it brings it back to normal for us, and it's just exciting.
Most businesses along this stretch of Main Street felt that same excitement.
The streets opened, so it sounds like a busy downtown now all of a sudden.
I wanted to jump up and down because I was so happy.
A huge step for the business owners that once again show just how Sun Prairie strong they all are.
We were fortunate. We were very, very fortunate. But like I like to say, is we dodged the bullet. And it was very good for us, and it allowed us to get back on the horse real quick.
In Sun Prairie.
Sun Prairie's a great place. Great community.
Jamie Perez, WISC News 3.
There are still several businesses west of Salvatore's on East Main and Columbus that are not open and still fenced off.
All right, let's get a look at the weather right now. There is some rain moving through with some scattered showers and storms tonight. Live here from our News 3 weather camera atop our building and looking down along Raymond Road. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield with our first alert forecast. He's in the Weather Center. Dave?
A slow-moving low-pressure system, Eric, will bring rounds of rain and thunderstorms to the area over the next couple of days, and that includes this evening. Round 2 is moving through Platteville and also Dubuque, Iowa at the present time. The good news for us is any severe weather, tornadoes in Iowa a little bit earlier, caused a lot of damage through Des Moines. That's not the good news, but the good news is that storm is heading to the south and east, not the north and east, so it won't be affecting us anytime soon or at all. As we head into tonight, some strong thunderstorms are possible, but generally we're just looking at the threat of maybe some heavy downpours with these. Live look in Madison on the WISC-TV Skycam, looking at cloudy skies. We did have some sunshine earlier, still at 75 degrees, southeast wind at 14 miles per hour. Temperatures across some other spots, 67 in Camp Douglas, 70 in the Dells, 69 in Platteville, and 75 in Boscobel. That's a big temperature change for some of us, about 10 to 15 degrees cooler compared to this time yesterday. Dew points are in the mid-60s with the rain nearby, so it does feel a little bit more uncomfortable in some spots. This evening, temperatures falling into the 60s, mostly cloudy with some more scattered showers and thunderstorms possible. We'll track these showers and storms over the next couple of days in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Dave. New tonight at 6, Beloit police are searching for a man they say beat and strangled a woman earlier this week. According to police, the victim approached police last night to report a domestic incident she had been involved in with 29-year-old Bartholomew Bowman. She told police he repeatedly hit her, dragged her by her hair, and held her against her will. If you know where he may be, you are asked to call police. Governor Scott Walker was in Washington, D.C. today, meeting with President Trump and members of his cabinet at the White House to discuss bolstering American workers. The governor was among many other elected officials, business leaders, and others who were at the event today. President Trump signed an executive order creating a new council focusing on creating solutions for the country's most urgent workforce issues. The village of DeForest is opening a new department-wide investigation into its police department.
And we're asking questions tonight about that investigation and learning more about a new report released about the police chief there. And tonight, our Rose Schmidt is here to share the findings of the investigation into Chief Dan Furseth. Rose?
That's right. Well, you'll remember Chief Furseth was placed on administrative leave in May after a YouTube video surfaced of him making racially charged remarks. And tonight we've learned there is a second investigation, which officials have declined to discuss with us. We also know more about where that video of Furseth came from and the investigation that has followed. It all started with a video.
Oh, baby, I got a car alarm on my Impala.
What you're hearing is the voice of Dan Furseth, current DeForest police chief. Alex Strelchenko, who does not wish to have his face shown out of fear for police retaliation, says he lent his camera to Furseth.
Well, he said he just wanted to mess around with it.
This was in 2007. Strelchenko was a police intern. Furseth, his mentor.
At the time, he was lieutenant, good friend of mine, father figure.
This is the fanciest restaurant we ever been to.
After Furseth returned the camera, Strelchenko discovered the video.
He formatted the SD card at least 2 times, but I have software that could defeat that.
Fast forward to 2015, when Strelchenko was cited for unlawfully flying his drone through DeForest neighborhoods.
But some people took it really, really personally, like I was spying on them.
Strelchenko tried to talk to Chief Furseth and get his officers to leave him alone. But when they didn't, he posted the video of Furseth to YouTube.
He had a choice to prevent it, but he chose not to, so I had to do what I had to do.
In May of this year, the video in question resurfaced, causing the village to place now Chief Furseth on administrative leave. The village hired a former police chief from Colorado to investigate Furseth, looking at his conduct and possible racial bias. The consultant found, quote, nothing other than the video in question to suggest that the chief is racist. But he also found some red flags, including a lack of diversity within the police force, a higher percentage of arrests for black residents, and a lack of racial bias training. As for the video, Furseth expressed remorse for posting it and said he thought the situation was humorous. Strelchenko, though, doesn't find it funny.
When I put it up there, I had every intent to end his career for betraying me, yeah.
And even after trying to end Furseth's career, he still thinks he's an honorable man.
And Dan Furseth is actually the best lawman I've ever met. He's the best peace officer, the most honest one, the least racist one. And, it's very sad to see him go.
The village president declined our request for an on-camera interview, but said the department will certainly be looking at ways to improve following these findings. Chief Furseth indicated to the village last month that he would like to resign. This week, more than a dozen people came to a village board meeting to voice support for their chief. Village officials offered a severance package to him and are still waiting his decision.
Rose Schmidt reporting tonight. Rose, thank you. In Rock County tonight, 58-year-old David Fredericks, a night custodian at Parker High School in Janesville, was arrested on 5 counts of child pornography possession. Fredericks has since been placed on administrative leave, unpaid administrative leave. The school conducted a sweep of bathrooms, locker rooms, and Fredericks' workplace, but found nothing out of the ordinary. The school district of Janesville has since responded, saying, quote, while the charges are not based on any information found at or on school district property for the Janesville School District or on locations or computer resources, due to the nature of the accusation, the district has placed Fredericks on unpaid administrative leave.
The first conviction has been made today in a 2016 shooting death of a 5-year-old Beloit boy. Sergio Ortiz Rigosa pled guilty to first-degree reckless homicide. He can face up to 60 years in prison. His sentencing is set for November 14th. Following at least 2 suicides this month, the village of Mount Horeb is making a plan going forward.
A meeting starting in an hour is inviting parents, students, school board members, and the community to discuss what they can do. News 3's Madeline O'Neill joins us from Mount Horeb Middle School with more. Maddie?
Eric and Charlotte, the community meeting starts here at Mount Horeb Middle School at 7. It comes after police say both a 19-year-old and a 21-year-old died by suicide this month within 10 days of each other. Officials are investigating a third death as well, that of a 10-year-old boy, as a possible suicide. Police don't believe the deaths are related, but school officials say it just highlights a problem nationally, and the community wants to do anything they can do to help.
Despite this tragic loss, loss after loss, that actually it's making us even stronger as a community, and it would be shameful of us if we did nothing. And this is a community that doesn't just sit back.
The meeting tonight will go over mental health collaboration efforts already happening in the community and the response going into the future to tackle health issues. It also is providing community members a chance to have their voices heard and just be listened to. The Journey mental health representative will be here tonight as well, and the meeting is public and open to anyone. It's in the step room at the middle school, and we'll have more on the meeting and this community's efforts coming up tonight at 10. Charlotte and Eric.
Very important discussion. Maddie O'Neill in Mount Horeb. Maddie, thank you. More to come tonight at 6. Another candidate throws her hat into the ring for Madison mayor.
And a heated meeting discussing the roles of educational resource officers in Madison schools. Find out what's being decided next at 6.
After a fight almost broke out at last night's meeting, the committee looking at the role of educational resource officers in Madison schools is trying to finalize a new plan.
Many feel very strongly about police officers in schools, and the committee says it still has a lot of work to do before suggesting a change. Amanda Quintana is in the news center with more on what's being planned.
Yes, well, one of the ideas is to remove the 4 police officers known as EROs in the 4 Madison high schools and replace them with a liaison program of 20 or more specially trained officers to cover all 50 schools. During last night's public comment period, dozens came to voice their opinion on why there shouldn't be EROs at all. The committee chair says they made their stance clear and were sometimes forceful. And although the plan isn't finalized, it would not necessarily include an officer sitting at a school for 8 hours a day.
The ERO program, as I mentioned, is only in 4 schools, and it costs us $360,000 a year for just 4 to be there every day. So how are we going to provide security for the other 46 schools?
Today, Police Chief Mike Koval released a statement saying the liaison idea is not feasible, and MPD doesn't have the infrastructure or capacity to even discuss the program, and it would also take longer for officers to respond to schools. And that statement also saying the mayor supports him in this. Right now, the school district pays $360,000 a year to have those 4 officers in the high schools, and the committee is hoping to have a final plan together by next week. They will then give it to the board for approval.
Amanda Quintana reporting in the newsroom. Amanda, thank you.
More in local politics tonight. Former city council member and housing advocate Brenda Conkle is officially announcing her candidacy for mayor of Madison. She joins Maurice Cheeks and Satya Rhodes Conway as the 3 official candidates in the mayoral race so far. Current Mayor Paul Soglin announced this week he will not seek another term. The election will be held in April. More to come tonight on News 3 at 6.
When we come back, a local woman's call for action after what she says was a horrible experience with a local dating service.
It's an umbrellas up forecast with scattered showers possible for much of the next few days. We'll track the rain hour by hour in your forecast next.
If you're using a dating service to help find love, you'll want to hear one local woman's call for action over problems she experienced with Wisconsin singles.
Rose Kelso lost her husband and mother in a span of just 6 months. You might remember her mom, 82-year-old Agnes Bram, was murdered. The man renting a room from her, John Hammond, will go to court at the end of the month for her homicide. That is a lot to handle. So Rose turned to a dating agency to help her find a companion.
I just was feeling alone. And even though there's people around you, you just feel like, you know, you just need someone.
So after weeks of working with Wisconsin singles and a $4,000 contract, Rose ultimately walked away from an experience she called horrible. We'll share her call for action story and how the dating agency is responding. That's later tonight on News 3 at 10.
Meteorologist Dave Caulfield is here now with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, we have some rain on the way. We already had actually some rain earlier this afternoon, a few drops here and there. Some more thunderstorms are possible into this evening. Round 2 of this rain is now moving through Platteville into extreme southern portions of southern Wisconsin, but some more showers and thunderstorms possible into tonight and for the next couple of days for that matter. The good news is the severe weather tomorrow will once again miss us. Maybe some stronger thunderstorms tonight, especially for southwestern Wisconsin, but that's about it. We actually did have some pretty bad tornadoes go through portions of eastern Iowa just a few hours ago. We're not going to see anything like that across southern Wisconsin. We are seeing still some showers and thunderstorms moving into Monroe at the present time, and some embedded downpours are in here, and that's really what we're focusing on with this forecast is the threat of some locally heavy rain and some localized flooding because of these downpours. Scattered storms will be with us for the next couple of days, so it depends on where these downpours set up, but if they do kind of pop up right over where you live, you're going to see a lot of rain in a short amount of time. So keep that in mind. Keep the umbrella handy over the next couple of days. Our time lapse in Madison on the Edgewater Skycam, we saw a brief period of rain early in the afternoon and then actually a little bit of sunshine that brought our temperatures up about 5 to 10 degrees in just the span of an hour and a half or so. The clouds have moved back in, though, in downtown Madison on the Edgewater Skycam. We could see a little bit of clearing also in the distance. The almanac for today's high of 78, about 5 degrees below normal for this time of year. We should be in the low 80s. Temperatures right now are in the mid 70s for the most part. Closer to where that rain still is, though, we are in the 60s in Camp Douglas and Watoma. Dew points are generally in the 60s as well, with rain nearby, so a little bit more uncomfortable outside compared to this time yesterday. Wind speeds are out of the south and east at about 10 to 20 miles per hour. Breezy conditions stay with us into tomorrow. For the Dane County Fair tomorrow, wish I had a little bit better weather, but I don't think we'll see necessarily a washout on any particular day with this forecast. However, we need to keep that umbrella ready, and we do have the chance of some showers and thunderstorms tomorrow, with temperatures staying well below average for this time of year in the low 70s. Future track showing this low pressure system continuing to slowly move to the east, bringing with it some scattered shower and thunderstorm chances for tonight, Friday into Saturday. And even though that low pressure system is well to our east by then, we still could have some more showers and thunderstorms over the next couple of days. Temperatures in the 60s tonight, into the 70s by tomorrow. You can see how slowly this thing is moving over the next couple of days, bringing us really ever-present chances for showers and thunderstorms. Not going to be a washout. Don't cancel any plans over this, but be ready to see some of that rain, anywhere from 1 inch to 2 inches of rain over the next couple of days possible, depending on where those downpours set up. Temperatures in the 80s by the time we get to next Monday and Tuesday, with more shower and thunderstorm chances on the way Wednesday night into Thursday morning.
Talk about an easy decision. Orlando Tucker is going into the UW Athletic Hall of Fame. The story is coming up in sports. Over the last week and a half, the UW has been announcing this year's 11-member class of their Athletic Hall of Fame, and today was the 11th and final announcement, and it's a no-brainer. Orlando Tucker. Tucker is still the leading scorer in Wisconsin men's basketball history with 2,217 points. He also has more starts, minutes played, field goals, free throws, and offensive rebounds than any other Badger men's basketball player. In 2007, Tucker was a first-team All-American and Big Ten Player of the Year, as Wisconsin was ranked #1 in the country during that season. Orlando Tucker will be inducted into the UW Athletic Hall of Fame September 7th. Everyone here calls it the British Open. Everyone over there calls it the Open Championship. Whatever you call it, it sure is great to watch golf on TV at 4 in the morning if you can't sleep, isn't it? Tiger Woods is playing in the Open for the first time since 2015. He had to wear kinesio tape on his neck because he slept wrong and had a crick. Didn't seem to bother him all that much. 3 birdies, 3 bogeys for Tiger. That's a round of even par 71. He's tied for 32nd place after the first round. Your leader is Kevin Kisner. He plays early before the wind comes up. He takes full advantage. 4 birdies and an eagle for Kisner, who goes 34-32 and shoots 5 under 66 to lead the Open Championship. It is a one-shot lead over 3 players, including Eric Van Rooyen, who played his collegiate golf at the University of Minnesota. Phil Mickelson went +2, tied for 72nd. World #1 Dustin Johnson tied for 129th place at 5 over. The Brewers get one more day off before they resume the regular season tomorrow night when the Los Angeles Dodgers come to Miller Park. There's only one game tonight in Major League Baseball. The Cubs are hosting St. Louis. Jabari Parker is welcoming back to Chicago. He left the Bucks for a 2-year, $40 million free agent contract and, of course, grew up in Chicago. Parker missed 142 games in his 4 years with the Bucks with 2 ACL tears, but Parker says he's glad the injuries happened because they helped him see purpose in life.
To forget that I hurt myself and came back is to discredit a lot of my success, because that's in and of itself something outside of the norm. Like, nobody does that. So I want to always remember the setbacks and the failures that I've had in my career so far and just use that as a sense of motivation.
1 week from today, the Packers will open their training camp. They'll have their first practice, and if you want to go watch the practice at Ray Nitschke Field, it'll start just before noon. There are about 1,500 free seats at Nitschke Field, and there's standing room at each end of the field as well. Gates open 90 minutes before practice. And the Chicago Bears reported to camp today. They're back in Bourbonnais, Illinois. That's the home of Olivet Nazarene University. They have a new head coach, Matt Nagy, a new offense that's a version of the West Coast offense, but their quarterback is the same, Mitchell Trubisky. The Bears were 5-11 last year, and Trubisky is tired of that and other things.
I'm tired of it all. I'm tired of everything. I'm tired of all the doubts, all the comparisons. I don't really pay attention to that. I'm tired of waiting. I'm just excited that camp is here and see what we can do for year 2.
It's like Gary Canalti was sitting here. Packers hosting Bears on the 9th of September, opening night.
Opening of the season. It'll be here soon.
We don't know what the weather's going to be for that, but for tonight, we do have a chance of some showers and storms, and those chances extend into tomorrow and Saturday. Temperatures tomorrow in the low 70s.
All right, thanks for joining us at 6.
Have a great evening. We'll see you back here at 10.